You know, guys, when I was reading the article that I'm about to share with you guys, I couldn't help but notice that there was so many inaccuracies within the article. Nothing about the article made any sense. And I eventually came to the conclusion that I never really paid attention to the top of the article. I just wanted to read it right away, pretty much. So after I read the article in its entirety, I wanted to scroll back up to the top just to see who wrote the article. Now, ultimately, I discovered a link to a petition to try and get the government to try and defund Planned Parenthood. Now, ultimately, I determined that this article was written by a Christian, so I'm not going to be including anything that the Christian said in this video. I will, however, include some of the things that a senator said in this video. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below at the end of this video, because as usual, I would really be interested on seeing what you guys have to say about this. But before we get into any of that, I would like to take a minute to talk about Planned Parenthood. Now, just in case you guys are unfamiliar with the situation involving Planned Parenthood, I'm going to leave links in the description down below to get you guys more familiar with the Planned Parenthood situation, because it seems to me that there are a lot of Christians, pro-lifers out there who really don't pay attention to the facts. They simply want to basically push forth their propaganda. They want to spread a lot of misinformation, and they really don't care about it, because they want people to actually believe that Planned Parenthood is selling fetuses for profit when simply that is not the case. And those videos that you hear about have been refuted time and time again, yet these people think that it's necessary to continue with their lies, to continue with their nonsense, and it's something that really pisses me off, because these people have no regard for the truth. They have no respect for the truth. They have no respect for honesty. They don't have any passion for their fellow human beings, because when it comes to their fairy tale, they don't have any passion for anything at all, in any way, shape, or form. And that type of behavior really offends me. Now, in a video I made a while back, I specifically talked about Republicans that were trying to defund Planned Parenthood because they were actually believing in this horseshit that was being served to them. And it really pissed me off because they really didn't pay attention to any of the facts at all in any way, shape, or form. And at the same time, this really doesn't surprise me when it comes to these idiots, because they will believe anything that is told to them without doing any research, because doing research for them is completely beyond their fucking ability. Now, in that video, I also talked about the Obama administration. They specifically said that they were going to veto any bill that came to the president's desk, basically, because they wanted to support Planned Parenthood. They thought all of this stuff was absolutely nonsense, and I agree with them. So, what do these Republicans do? Well, you got a Republican who goes by the name of Bobby Jindal, who decided to take it upon himself to do one of the most disgusting things that I've ever heard about. And I want to share a little bit of this with you right now. And this article will be in the description as well. So, let's begin. Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal, a Republican, announced he had ended the state's Medicaid contract with Planned Parenthood in response to anti-abortion sting video campaigns against the Reproductive Health Service. Now, honestly, Mr. Jindal, do you think that you're a hero for doing that? Do you think that you're a hero for paying attention to lies? Do you think that you're a hero for paying attention to propaganda? You know what your problem is? Your religion. You know what your problem is? Your ignorance. And what you just did has got to be one of the most disgusting things that I have ever seen a person do in my entire life. You obviously don't care about the people that need the services of Planned Parenthood, because you would rather pay attention to rumors. You would rather pay attention to things that do not represent the truth in any way, shape, or form. And that really tells us, you fucking idiot, that you are an exact idiot. And I will continue to stand against people like you who thrive on spreading lies, who thrive on taking things away from people that need them. It doesn't need to happen. You didn't need to do this. You didn't need to basically pull Medicaid away from Planned Parenthood, because a lot of people benefit from Planned Parenthood, whether you like it or not. It's all about your religious nonsense. It's all about the lies that you are willing to spew on a daily basis that motivate you to do these horrible things. You really need to look at yourself and really analyze that what you are doing is completely fucked up. It doesn't need to happen. And this goes for all of those other people out there who think that it's necessary to defund Planned Parenthood, or think that it's necessary to take away these benefits from people that need Planned Parenthood. It's ridiculous. It's nonsense, and it really pisses me the fuck off when I see people show a lack of respect for their fellow human beings. And that's something that I will continue to stand against time and time again. I know that I sound like a fucking broken record at times, but I can't help but share my overwhelming amount of anger for these fucking idiots, because they don't need to do this to people. They don't have a problem treating people like shit, and that is what I have a problem with. Now, since you fucking idiots lack the ability to do any research for yourselves, I thought that I would take this opportunity to do so and share the facts with you here and now. Now, the only money that was involved with Planned Parenthood is the shipping and handling. Now, obviously, it costed Planned Parenthood to ship these items to scientists. So, therefore, these people thought that it was appropriate to reimburse Planned Parenthood. That was it. That's what actually happened. And now I know that you idiots out there won't pay attention to the facts because it's a typical habit of yours. You want people to continue to believe that Planned Parenthood is somehow selling fetuses on the black market. That is ridiculousness at its finest, and it really shows us just how ignorant you assholes can actually be about something. You people are some of the most disgusting individuals that I have ever come across in my entire life. And your behavior is a prime example of how not to be in society. And that's how I feel about that situation. So now let's get back to the article that I wanted to share with my subscribers in the first place. Like I said, guys, I wanted to share a couple of things coming from the senator that were rather interesting. And she starts off by saying, the freedom of religion guaranteed by the First Amendment applies only to churches, not to individuals, a U.S. senator said on national television recently. Senator Tammy Baldwin, Democrat of Wisconsin, the nation's first openly lesbian elected to the U.S. Senate, addressed the Supreme Court's Obergefell versus Hodges decision on June 27th on NBC's Up with Steve Kornacki. Should the bakery have to bake the cake for the gay couple getting married? The host asked. Where do you come down on that? Baldwin responded that the First Amendment gave Americans no right to exercise religion outside the sanctuary of their church, synagogue, or mosque. Certainly, the First Amendment says that in institutions of faith that there is absolute power to, to observe deeply held religious beliefs. But I don't think it extends far beyond that, she said. Senator Baldwin then likened the issue to the Obama administration's contentious HHS mandate requiring employers to furnish contraceptives, sterilization, and abortion-inducing drugs to female employees with no copay. We've certainly seen the set of arguments play out in issues such as access to contraception, Baldwin said. Should it be the individual pharmacist whose religious beliefs guides whether a prescription is filled, or in the context they're talking about expanding this far beyond our churches and synagogues to businesses and individuals across the country? I think there are clear limits that have been set in other contexts, and we ought to abide by those in this new context across America. Now, when it comes to what this senator actually said, I think that it's pretty safe to say that I agree with her. There has to be limits that have to be placed. Otherwise, Christians are going to take over everything when simply that does not need to happen. I'm okay with religious people practicing their beliefs in churches. I'm okay with religious people practicing their beliefs within their own homes. But what I am not okay with is when these Christians think that it's necessary to refuse service to an individual because of their religious beliefs. I think that is extremely inappropriate, and it doesn't need to happen. I have seen many examples where religious people have refused service to women in regards to contraception because of their religious beliefs. And that is nonsense. These women have a right to their own personal health. They have a right to make their own decisions. And that is what these Christians need to realize. These Christians have to realize that they cannot put their religious beliefs on the table when they are serving the community. That's not what it's about. It's about civil rights. It's about equal rights for everyone. And that's something that I think Christians need to realize. For instance, in the bakeries as well. People do not have the right to refuse service to a gay or lesbian couple simply because it conflicts with their religious beliefs. If you are serving the community, you have to serve the community whether you like it or not. If not, you can be held liable for a lot of lawsuits as well. And that's what I absolutely agree with. People have to realize that this type of behavior should never be permitted within society. You know, people have a right to be treated equal. And that's something that these Christians need to realize on a constant basis. Because if nothing is done about these things, there are going to be more Christians that are going to think that they can get away with pretty much everything in this country. And the sad thing about all of this is the fact that there are Christians that actually get away with a lot of nonsense when they shouldn't. Because this sets a bad example for everybody else within society, and it's going to influence other Christians to have this kind of behavior, because they are going to have the confidence to get away with this bigotry, to get away with this hatred. And that's something that I will continue to stand against time and time again. And that's all I have to say about this. So feel free to share this video with anyone that might be interested, whether it be on Facebook, Google+, Tumblr, Reddit, Yahoo, or wherever you guys hang out. Till next time, the Quiet Atheist is out. And remember, if you can't be good at it. Most of all, thank you for watching, and I will see you next video.